does our strength work look like initially? So for one, he's partial weight bearing. So we're not doing any loaded squats, right? We're not doing any loaded deadlifts or anything along those lines. We're also avoiding active hip flexion within the first 2 weeks. Okay. So we're a little bit restricted in what we can do. All right. What do we start with? Mostly table work and mostly working with just your body weight. Okay. And that starts off with different isometrics. So think about glute sets, quad sets, just flexing those muscles, ankle pumps early on. We start to do clams, reverse clams, bridging, and adduction work. All right. Don't forget the adductors. And once we're able to do a little bit of hip flexion, we start with things like heel slides, but we have to go nice and easy initially. Okay. I'm also a big fan of standing hip abduction and extension. So basically standing on the non-surgical leg and moving that surgical leg into abduction and extension. I also want to think about strengthening the accessory muscles as much as we possibly can. Keep in mind, you have someone who's partial or non-weight bearing, they're going to get weak. Their muscles are going to get a lot smaller. So we're trying to prevent this atrophy as much as possible. So we focus on the quads, hamstrings, and calves. I'm also a huge fan of blood flow restriction training early on. If you've never heard of BFR, it's a way to increase your strength and muscle mass at a similar rate as regular weight training with only 20% of the loads you would normally use. 20% of your maximal 1 rep max. So in traditional weight training, you need somewhere around 80% of your 1 rep max to make strength improvements. With BFR, it's only 20%. Obviously, that's really nice because after you've had a surgical repair, you can't load the hip very much, right? So we can improve strength and hypertrophy at a similar rate just by adding the BFR, okay? Just make sure you have a green light from your doctor. I personally want to make sure those incisions are dry and healing. And after we do BFR, they aren't seeping, okay? Generally, when I put the BFR strap on for most of my patients, the strap actually goes right below the portal holes. So we don't end up causing much issue there. And then the other part is that you want to make sure you have a green light from the doc, right? And usually for me, this is around 2 weeks, okay? Could you start earlier? Probably. I just tend to wait a little bit just to be as safe as possible, although I might not need to, right? What else are we thinking about from a strength perspective? Well, for one, we can train the contralateral limb. What can we do? We can do things like single-legged deadlifts, single-legged squats, calf raises, and most of this is done as tolerated. So it's important to understand that when someone is partial or non-weight bearing, the contralateral limb is doing all the work, okay? So super common for these folks to start developing pain in the contralateral knee, hip, elsewhere. You just have to be a little bit cautious. You don't want to go nutso on the contralateral limb just because it's the only area you can train. You can very easily go too far, and keep in mind that limb is already taking extra stress because it's doing all the work currently, all right? From a conditioning perspective, we're starting off with upright bike work for around 20 minutes per day. We can just ramp that up over the course of time as well tolerated. And initially, we're starting with no resistance at all. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll be able to see this image, or on the video podcast, you'll be able to see this image, right? If you're not and you're listening to the audio, I apologize. I recommend going to YouTube at some point and checking this out. But I just have the basic daily exercise and conditioning written down. So this is exactly what we ended up giving to the patient. So you can see we have glute bridges, bent knee fallouts for the adductors, sideline ball squeezes for the adductors, sideline clamshell, sideline reverse clamshell, cat-cows, cat-cow position overhead reaches with core bracing, and then standing hip abduction and extension. So early on, I want my patients to be doing these exercises frequently. I think that's great for range of motion. Makes people feel like they're moving a little bit, which I think is helpful. And these sets and reps are usually 1 to 2. But again, we're doing this multiple times a day. So you may be looking at, a total of 6 sets per day, somewhere between like 3 and 6 sets per day total, but they're all spread out, morning, evening, and then lunchtime if someone can get them in. Lastly, we have the conditioning, just the bike work we talked about previously. So here's what I want you to do next, guys. If you enjoyed this video so far, I have an entire course. It's free. It's called the Fitness Pain-Free Mini Course. And we go over 3 lessons going to help you take a lot of this information that we went over so far and put it into practice. The first lecture is called Why We Need a Better System. So first and foremost, the way we treat fitness individuals, all right, athletic people in the gym from a physical therapy perspective is pretty much broke, okay? So we need a better system to serve the folks that are in the gym that get hurt, they want to get back to training, all right? Lecture number 2 is called 7 Reasons Why People Get Hurt in the Gym. And essentially, we have to know the reasons why people get hurt in the gym so we can keep them safe in the future, right? And when they get hurt, we have to know why and how to get them back to training in the gym. Okay. So a thorough understanding of this is very, very important. I actually have a really cool infographic that goes along with this lecture that you get for free as well. And lastly, we go over a case study of how to get someone out of pain and back to training. So these principles are all phenomenal, but we don't actually put it together and you don't understand how to create a program to get people back in the gym and keep them safe for the long term, then we lose, right? So I'll put a link in the show notes for this. It's a fitness pain-free mini course. Definitely check this out.